Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is our annual Motell membership meeting. You know, we're supposed to have one every year, and that's what we do. So we can tell you what we did all year. And then we'll talk after that about what we're going to do for the coming year. I'm Joyce Slater, and I am the president of Motell. Sue Hinkle, raise your hand.
Over here.
She's the vice president. Currently, Linda Kuntz is the secretary. Jackie Wright is treasurer. At large, we have Gary Kuntz and Papa Wright and Nancy Walker-Mickham. All right. It's a great crowd. We do have a good board, a really good board. Oh, I forgot Perrin. He's emeritus. Isn't that funny? I always forget Perrin. I always forget Perrin. And he started the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's on record now too that I forgot you. See, so you can blame me. All right. Well, you know, our fiscal year, it runs from February 1st to January 31st. And in 2025 and a little bit of 2026, we have done a lot of storytelling and made it accessible to our members. In fact, a number of people who aren't members have also been involved with our storytelling. And that's what a nonprofit does, a not-for-profit. We do engage people who are not our members, but we certainly appreciate our members. And Linda will tell you how wonderful you are when it's her turn. I think you're wonderful too. I've introduced the board members. This year, Linda Kuntz has decided to step down as secretary, but she'll remain on the board with membership. And we have recruited a board member to take her place, Sue Godsey. Yay. And everybody is going, yay, Sue.
Yay. You get notes from you, right, Linda? This weekend?
At the Chicken Festival.
You're going to get a whole Google Doc of minutes from 2018 up.
I was thinking of tips and things I needed.
Oh, I can give you tips also.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you've got all the minutes from 2018 on, though. So we want to give Sue a big round of applause for joining the board. Yeah. It doesn't mean that any one of you could also join the board. If you all have skills, and we are not limited. So if you have a desire to be on the board of Motell, just give me a ring-a-ding-ding, and we'll talk to you about the board. We are also, I'm so grateful to this board. I mean, they do a lot of work, and they'll talk about what they do. But this year, they have done so much in putting together concerts, helping with Liars Contest, state park information, fundraising. We just, so many things. The newsletter. So I'm very grateful to them and to our associates who help us out, particularly Hillary Kuntz, who designed our website, and Ken Wolf, who takes care of our monthly newsletter. I just give him all the information from everybody, and he puts it all together. And of course, our contact with Missouri State Parks is Kevin Smith, and we are very grateful to them because of all that they do. This year, we published 11 newsletters. So thank you to Ken Wolf for that.
Yes.
We placed 10 storytellers in the state parks. Thank you, Kevin Smith. We produced 4 online storytelling concerts. Thank you, Gary Kuntz, Nancy Walker-Mickham, and Sue Hinkle. That's the team there. There was a liar's contest that included a quilt raffle, a silent auction, workshop, and lunch. Thank you to Perrin Stiefel, Sue Hinkle, Jackie Wright, Papa Wright, Marcia Mellendorf, and all the board members who participated. Also, we want to thank the judges for that and the entrants and all the helpers. The quilt was designed and handmade for a raffle by Marcia Mellendorf, who is Perrin's sister. So it's a wonderful thing that we have all these people who are friends of Motell. There are many who donate every year to our time, talent, and treasure, which included donations for the auction, too. 2 auctions, in fact. We had a celebration, and there was a kickoff to celebration with Andy Offit Irwin. There was also a separate live celebration, and Papa will go into that. No. Our history, right? Our history project continues with new and old stories of Motell. And thank you to the board for gathering those stories because and if any of you have a story about Motell and its history, we want to hear it and we will publish it in our newsletter. Our website is kept up to date. Thank you to Hillary Kuntz. We have a good membership base with a number of lifetime members. And Linda takes care of that and Jackie also. Storytelling has been good in Missouri. I hope you have heard some stories in Missouri. We've certainly been telling them. What does the future hold for Motell? Well, it holds a lot of the same things that we did in 2025. 2026, we'll still have Missouri Parks. We'll still have the Liars Contest. We will also have concerts, newsletter, fundraisers. But, we look to our members to give us ideas. So I hope you will speak up after all of our reports today and give us some ideas about what we can do for storytelling in Missouri. I'm going to pass it off now to let's see. How about treasurer? Are you ready, Jackie? Oh, I caught you with your mouth full. I'm so sorry.
Tootsie roll. I didn't see an agenda, so I didn't know what order we were coming in.
Well, there is no real order.
Okay. Well, our last meeting was January 21st, 2025. And at that time, we had $10,539.23 in our treasury. So the income we earned since then has been $1,075 in membership dues. The state parks gave us $4,083.30 to use for tellers in the state parks. And we got quite a few donations. We got $100 donations designated for the state parks. We've got $1,017 designated for celebration, and 600 of that was in memory of someone. For the Liars Contest, we got a donation of $282. And just for our general fund, we got a donation of $750. Other memorials that weren't designated for any particular event was $250. And then we got a $10 donation toward the post office box because the rate went up. Another $10. The 200 was already there. And then the rate went up, which is going up again in March for us. So I have no idea right now what it'll be, but it was 210 last time. So it may go up another $10. I don't know. but whatever that is, that will be donated to Motell or the post office box by me. The Liars contest, our income was $2,838.31, which included registration, the raffle, the silent auction, the tote bags that were sold, and the t-shirts. And the Rydell Foundation grant was given to us. That was $2,000 for the storytelling the Friday night before the Liars contest. So a total of $12,405.61 was earned since January 21st, 2025. Now, our expenses were our liability insurance, $388, our webmaster, $250, our newsletter editor, $250. We paid $100 in membership dues to NSN, and we paid $90 for an 8-page ad for the annual conference for NSN. And the post office box fee was $210. We spent $88.85 in postage. We spent $9.16 in envelopes. Our quarterly concerts were $600 because we actually did 3 concerts that were paid out. The 4th concert was all board members who did not get paid. Celebration tellers received a total of $450. And then the state parks tellers, we spent $4,083.30, the exact amount that was donated by the state parks. For the Liars contest, our expenses were $1,284.26, which included the medals, the cash prizes, the workshop, the lunches, and the children's program. For printing, we spent $58.27. And donations, we donated $100 to the church where we had celebration, and we donated $70 in memory of John Hinkle. I can't remember the name of the organization right now. And then the Down by the Riverside Storytelling Concert was paid $2,000. $2,000 was paid out, and that was for the tellers, the musicians, the performance hall, and the programs and the refreshments. And that was that Rydell Foundation grant. We spent the $2,000 that they donated. So our total expenses were $10,031.84. Now, when you add the beginning balance to the income we earned, that's $22,944.84. And when you subtract the expenses, which were $10,031.84, that gives us a balance of $12,913, which is what we have in the bank.
What did you say?
$12,913. Yeah. But we do have some outstanding checks because I just wrote checks for the insurance and the webmaster and the newsletter editor. So that's going to bring it down when I subtract that. And then we have designated funds. So we have $969.33 designated for the state parks. We have $250 designated for the Campbell House. We have only $1.62 designated for the Liars contest right now. And for celebration this year, we'll have $464.91 right now designated for celebration. So when you subtract the designated funds from our balance, our available funds are $11,227.14. Are there any questions? No questions?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you. We
All
try, we try to remain solvent in case of emergencies, and we do pay out quite a bit in state parks and funds, but it's we're not going to go under.
Yeah.
So
And we still have 2 other state parks to pay out.
right. Thank you. All right, and no questions there. Let's see. Nancy, do you want to talk about state parks?
Sure. Sorry, my internet's out, so I'm scrambling with my phone. And hello, everyone. Starting my 5th year as one of our board members and looking forward to another great year of all kinds of telling. And I am proud to bring you the report on our state park program. If you remember, our roots are directly aligned with our relationships with our state parks. Perrin and David Schlam got the idea of starting Motell while attending a storytelling event in a state park in Kentucky. So, here we are, 37 years later, still bringing our tellers and tales to 10 state parks this year and historical sites. The good news is that all these tellers get paid for their talents through a grant we receive from the Department of Natural Resources and monies from Motell. We are able to offer a payment of $408.33. That's $408.33 for your services. And we are continuing this wonderful program, of course, through the next year of 2026. So if you have not done so yet and are interested in joining the list, please email Joyce your info. She will send out an email soon, and you can join those of us who are keeping this tradition going. You can be specific on how many miles you are willing to go and what tales you offer. The state parks will get a list, and they'll read through your bio, and they will pick who they want to tell at their specific event. Motell has put in place guidelines for tellers that to do not more than 2 a year, so many of us can be included. Mike and I, my husband Mike and I, were fortunate enough to do Cassville this year, Roaring River Trout O Lantern Festival. This was our 2nd year of doing an event for Roaring River. We had a lively audience of children and adults ready to be scared for their Halloween event. It was rainy and cold, just right for tales from the folk tales of the Ozarks. And better yet, because it was rainy and cold, we were moved inside. So we were cozy and warm and had a good time. So remember, get on the list, get a biography to Joyce. You can be specific, like I said, how many miles, what kind of tales you tell. And it really is a wonderful thing we do through keeping this alive and going, because state parks are a great place to tell because they have a lot of history themselves, and we just add to it. So let's keep the spark alive and continue Perrin's and David's vision, now our vision, to do more in 2026 for the state of story. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I add something?
Yes.
The state parks give us enough money to pay 10 tellers, but Motell pays the other 2 tellers. We usually do 12 a year. I just wanted to add that comes out of our budget.
Yeah, great.
Okay. Linda? Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
So I I joined Motell in not exactly what year, but in 2018 was asked to be the secretary following Jim Wallen. And so I said, sure. I've been the secretary since then. I am stepping down as secretary this year and passing it on to Sue Godsey. But along the way, I picked up membership from Sue Hinkle. And so we have 72 members. And of those 72, 27 are lifetime members. Now we have storytellers and we have past storytellers where they're not performing anymore, and we have story listeners. So we appreciate anyone and everyone supporting storytelling. I'm going to be sending out a postcard to just remind you of when your dues are due. Some of you are doing 2 years at a time, so you're not going to be due until 2027. But because I'm asked all the time, I'm going to send everyone a postcard so they know, like, you're either due, and if so, when, or no, you're fine until when the next due date is. The other thing that I have gotten to do is 2 years ago we did an online auction using 32auctions.com, and that was our first time. We're going to do it again in February of 2026. So what I'm asking people to do is send me a picture and 3 to 5 sentence description of what the item is and the value. And to make it easy, you can send this to my Linda K. Kuntz at yahoo.com email, to make it easy to remember where you're sending it. And if I can have it by the 20th of January, I will post it. And then February 1st, the auction goes live. It's February 1st through February 28th at www.32auctions.com/Motell. And whatever you want to donate, then you are also responsible for delivering or shipping. So I will, when the auction's over, I'll let you know who the highest bidder was and their address so that you can get it to them. If it's local and you can just drop it off, fine. If you need to ship it, that's on you. But we appreciate anything that is donated for the auction, because this is where we're getting our money to pay for the state parks and other activities. And that's it. Unless we have any other questions.
Well, I just have a quick comment to
Yes.
put in a plug for lifetime memberships.
Oh, okay. So
that's a possibility.
If you are under 60, for $250, you never have to hear from me again. You will be a lifetime member. If you are over 60, I'm going to give you a discount. It's $200. So the rates are on the website, so you can see what it is for individual or family, 1 year or 2 year. But yeah, it's just a way of supporting it. If Motell, if you can afford it, go with lifetime membership. And Joyce, you're muted.
Yeah, everybody is muted. There was background noise, so we muted everybody except the speaker. Thank you, Linda, very much. That was good, and we keep Motell going and growing. All right. Gary, you moved into the spotlight right there. Why don't you give your report?
All right. In 2025, Motell hosted a series of 4 storytelling programs. These are virtual only over the Zoom platform programs, and were put together by the program committee, which consists of Sue Hinkle, Nancy Walker, Micaham, and myself. The 4 programs that we put on in 2025 on March 11th. By the way, it's the second Saturday in March. Yeah, second Tuesday of March, June, September, and December. In my mind, it's Saturday, but it really is Tuesday. On March 11th, Tales of Wonder and Magic. Priscilla Howe, January Kiefer, Angela Williams, and Karen Young. On June 10th, Tall Tales, Alice Nathan, Asia Starr, Rich White, and Ken Wolf. On September 9th, What Could Go Wrong in Storytelling? Such as Confusing Saturday and Tuesday. It was done by members of the Motell board: Sue Hinkle, Linda Kuntz, Joyce Slater, Perrin Stiefel, Papa and Jackie Wright. Jackie was the MC. Nancy and Michael Walker Mickham. And then on December 9th, program was Endings. Patricia Coffey, Janae Harley, Sherry Norfolk, and Jeff Provine. All of these programs were recorded. They're on the Motell YouTube channel. Hopefully you knew that there was a Motell YouTube channel. Or we put links to the tellers on the website. Now we do break the programs up into individual tellers. That way you can just listen to one person rather than listening to an hour program. In 2026, we're planning the second Tuesday in March, June, September, and December. Any questions?
How much are they paid?
We're paying them?
It's a small amount, but
we paid $50 for a teller for
one story.
For one 15-minute period, because sometimes they get in 2 stories.
So any of you could be our next teller this year.
Yeah, we tried to make certain that we have a mixture of Motell members, but also, as Joyce mentioned, non-members that are all, and we're trying to pick people that you may not have had an opportunity to hear from before.
Okay, well, thank you, Gary, and thank you, Linda. This year we had a liars contest, and it was held in Hannibal, Missouri. We had a concert on Friday night with several people chosen by Gail Rubley, who lives in Hannibal. She was sort of running that, so she may be having additional concerts in Hannibal. This was kind of a kickoff for her. But we had a workshop with January Kiefer on Saturday. We always have a workshop with the Liars Contest. It's nice in the morning, and there's donuts and coffee with that too, and it's all free. Then we have the Liars Contest, and this year our winners were in the written. Chester Weems, who's on board here, he won first place in the written. Second place was Larry Brown. Third was Daryl Skipworth. And in the spoken, Ken Wolf won the first place, Larry Brown the second place, and Chester Weems the third place. This seems like it was a show just for them, but we had a lot of entries this year, 12 entries, and we had to decide 10 who would actually be in the program. So those who were in the program, let me see where you are. Okay, the tellers who told: Rich White, Jim Two Crows Wallen, Rick Weiss, Ramona Crawford, Timothy Sally, Heather Harlan, Amy Prater, and of course, Chester Weems, Ken Wolf, and Larry Brown. Now, one of the rules in the Liars Contest is if you win first place in the spoken 5 years, doesn't matter if they're consecutive or not, you can't enter anymore. So Ken Wolf will not be entering the Liars Contest. That may be a boon for all of you. But he will be telling, hopefully, in the concert on this year's Liars Contest on Friday night. We had an auction at the Liars Contest. We gathered together. We eat lunch together. We celebrate together. I mean, we just have, storytelling. We just have a really good time. We like to have a good time with storytelling. It's fun. And not all stories are fun, but the people we know next to our heart are always fun and close to us. We had t-shirts and we sold bags and it was just, I mean, Jackie already went through that in her expenses for and income for the Liars contest. But so next year on, oh, yes, unmute.
We also had a children's program that Saturday morning.
We did, and Rick Weiss did that at the Mark Twain Museum. And that was fun. He didn't have children at first. So stories are good, stories are good for everybody. But we try to have fun with that. And this coming year in July, we will hold our Liars contest in Joplin, Missouri. And that is where our new board member is from. She's already written a grant for that Friday night concert and we're looking for other grants, to finance the weekend. But look forward to finding out more information about Joplin and the Liars contest there. It's a great place. So thank you. Thank you for listening to that. Sue Hinkle, you want to lend us your words of wisdom?
Okay, I'm unmuted now. I'm so glad that Joyce was here tonight. If she hadn't been, I would have taken over for her as vice president. So I'm really glad she's here. I also have a job of getting tips to put in the newsletter from other storytellers to help storytellers that get the newsletter. So I do that. And if you have anybody that you want to have tips from, let me know. I will contact them. They're in the Motell newsletter once a month. And I'm sorry, I did not write down all the people I called or got to tell, to submit their tips. I'm sorry I haven't done that. But my phone number and my email address are in the newsletter. So if you have tips you want to share, I'd love to hear from you. And you can call me or email me, either one, and that's in the newsletter. That's it.
Okay, and the tips can be about performing on the stage or protecting your voice or storytelling or working with puppets or doing historical storytelling or costuming. It can be tips on any of that involves storytelling. It's not just about the process of telling a story. There's so many other things that go into it. Some people sing, some people bring musical instruments, some people dress in period costumes. Some people just have wild clothes they wear when they tell stories, or they bring all kinds of things with them. How to operate a microphone, how to enter a stage. There's so many tips. So if you think of any, Sue's information is also on the website, so you can contact her with all of that. We would appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Joyce, for that.
Okay, now, Papa, you want to tell us about Celebration this year?
You need to unmute.
Can you hear me now? I'm Papa Wright, and I've been on the board for 3 years. Sue Hinkle twisted my arm and made me get on the board, so I'm on the board. Celebration kicked off on Sunday, November the 16th at 6 p.m. Central Time on Zoom. We had 46 devices. Of course, some of the devices had 2 or 3 people on there. Andy Alfred Irwin was a feature teller. He told about his Aunt Marguerite, at age 85, decided after her husband passed, decided to go back to medical school. It was a lot of fun, and we had a wonderful time that night. On Thursday, November the 20th, at 7 p.m. Central Time, at the Chapel Auditorium in Clayton, Missouri, we had uh, uh, Parent Steeple, Sherry Norfolk, and Flavor and Bobby Norfolk to tell.
Flavia
Everson to tell. It was free to get in. Of course, we wanted donations. It was free to get in. Parent told, let's see, Parent told a story about two bowls of water. Sherry Norfolk told two tales that Annette would tell all the time. It was called The Old Man and the Herman, and the bull who flew into the clouds to get more water. And Flavor told the story about the wounded warrior and the bull and the bull foot. Bobby Norfolk entered the program with telling of three strong women. Now, this program was dedicated or was for Annette Harrison, a storyteller who passed away, who was an author, an educator, and a wonderful person. And we dedicated the whole program to her. We had a wonderful night, and everybody enjoyed the stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa. That was dedicated to Annette Harrison, and she was
Right.
one of the founding members of Motell. So that was why. And if any of you ever saw Annette tell or heard her stories, you knew how energetic she was and how she could just light up a room.
Right.
So it was nice that we could dedicate something to her. All right. Let's see. Oh, I will tell you about our newsletter. Just a little bit of, I did say something. We had 11 newsletters. We give our editor a break 1 month of the year. So we take a break in September because he teaches school. But we had 11 newsletters, and in those letters, in the newsletter, which is called the Register, it was called the Register originally, and it's still the Register. If you haven't seen it, it's really a beautiful newsletter. Ken Wolf puts it together. We do it together with the information. I collect the information. He puts it all together in a beautiful array with his creative hand. So I'm very grateful for him for doing that. They're all found on our website, www.mo-tell.org. It includes, and if we have like major festivals, like we always include something about the St. Louis Festival. We have calendars for various organizations like the Story Center and RAPS, and when if Gateway starts up again, all the organizations around in Missouri. We do the tips, which Sue talked about, interviews with members, a historical page. We have jokes. We have a link to the Story Beast, which is an online magazine, storytelling magazine that comes out quarterly now. So, and NSN is also, if they have something, conference or something, we advertise that. We have a story a month in there, and you can use it. Generally they are not copyrighted, so you can create your own from that. And we're always looking for ideas. If somebody out there thinks they want to write a book review, for instance, and send it to us, that would be great. So please, at the end of our meeting, let us know what you think you could share with that. All right, thank you. Perrin, you want to give your report?
Yes. You can hear me, right? Okay. So, the Motel History Project, it's an ongoing project to collect Missouri storytelling history from its origin in the mid 80s to the present. Just submit anything to me at my email address, or you can call me, and if you want to talk about it, that would be great. And we'd love to publish that in the register. Then I want to talk about motel funding. There are many ways that Motel receives monies to continue its mission and vision. Membership, nothing is more important than members. And this is true of any organization, whether it be a church or the PTO or anything. If you don't have people that are committed and are interested, you really don't have the organization. So the reason there are dues is partially to make people aware that their money is going toward that mission and vision. So that's the most important thing of all is members. The donations each year, some people donate in memory of someone that they loved, and we received some donations in memory of quite a few people this year, and that will be published coming up. You can consider a memorial at any time you wish, and we'll publish the name of the, as I said, the donor and the person you're remembering. And you can also designate, like if you wanted to go to state parks or celebration or the Liars contest, we can see to that. And we have people who just donate extra money at certain times, like we had the auction, and they'll go, well, I don't want to buy anything at the auction, or I don't want to give anything to the auction, but I just like to support Motel, and they send us money. And then we have grants, and we often need matching monies for those grants. So Motel has that possibility always to ask people for that. And then if any, like Joy said, if anybody ever really wants to serve on the board, it's a working board. You don't have to donate money, but time and talent we appreciate. And so thanks to all the members and generosity in what we do with Missouri storytelling. I've said this time and time again. It's so wonderful when somebody else believes in your dream. And that's what's happened with Motel. And I got that feeling from Lynn Rubright and Ruth Hild Kronberg and Annette Harrison and other people that, sort of support this wonderful, wonderful world of stories. Thank you.
And I'd like to add to that, we are a 501c3. So Jackie will send you by email a letter saying how much you have donated, so you can use it when you file your taxes if you itemize. So, and Papa, you had a. Well, you're muted, dear.
Ken Wolf was the MC with Celebration Live. I left his name out. He did a great job. Ken Wolf. Okay. Sorry about that.
Now, let's see. Do we have anything else on our end? Let's see if anybody has any questions or has suggestions or things that they think. Yes, Linda.
We have a wonderful resource called Find a Storyteller, and it is on the website. So oftentimes, people that are currently telling stories want to have free advertising, and someone who's looking for a storyteller can go there and look. So if you're interested in being listed and you're not already, We need your picture. We need an idea of what kind of stories you enjoy telling or what you want people to know about you, and then how they can contact you. And you can send this to me or Gary, and we'll make sure that it gets on the website. But not everyone in Motell is currently telling stories, and I understand that. But if you are getting out and telling stories and you want to be and find a storyteller, please let us know.
Let me clarify that. Is people know you really don't want to try to send things to me.
Oh, yes. And Sue, would you like to tell us anything about yourself?
Well, I wanted to talk about what Linda was talking about, which is advertising through the Find a Teller, because I had been in Texas for quite some time, and my husband had been ill. So even the past, like, about 5 or 6 years before I came back to Missouri, I had not done as much storytelling as previously. So when I came back, I'm back here in Joplin, and everyone's changed. Different librarians, and different people. And it was really, really helpful for me to have that resource to be able to put that. If I emailed someone, if I talked to somebody or sent them a brochure, I was able to put the link up there so they could check out, that first of all, that I was a part of Motell, which matters quite a lot to be part of a community of storytellers like that. And also, for them to be able to just read about me. I do have a Facebook page also, but I do know that several people looked me up and looked up that page. So it's definitely a good thing, and I just appreciate it very much. So that's what I want to tell you.
All right. Well, as our new board member, do you want to tell anybody anything about yourself?
Well, just I'm very happy. I love the Missouri Storytellers. Many years ago, I taught in Carl Junction, Missouri, and also in Nevada. And both places we had a lot of student storytellers. We had a big swap in Joplin at that time. We had quite a few storytellers in the area, and we were pretty active. And Kansas City and St. Louis people from Motell and from RAPS reached out to me and were so kind and helpful, and gave my kids a lot of opportunities, gave me a lot of opportunities. I remember going to St. Louis one year for nationals, and I had never met Sue Hinkle, but we had been corresponding, I think, by email. And she said, you want to have lunch? So you remember this, Sue? So I met Sue and brought probably 3 or 4 of my kids with me, my students, and we had lunch, and Sue told us a great story, which the kids talked about on the way home. So I have many, many great memories of Missouri storytellers that I'm so happy to be back among you guys again. So
happy to have you.
Thank you. So now, anybody else? Oh, are there any questions or anything that you would like to contribute or talk about what we could do in the future? Some project you think we could investigate? Anybody out there right now that is thinking of something of storytelling that could help Motell? Well, what can we do for you? Is there something else we can do for you? Cozy, you're
Well, yes. My question is just, did you, Sue and Joyce, and maybe Jackie, did you plan on having your glasses coordinated like that? And should it be made a rule that everybody did come in with a zangy pair of glasses? That's all. That's all. I'll go and unmute myself.
a zangy pair of glasses. And we're
Just happened.
we have a couple of people in hats. Well, 3 people with head coverings. Oh, 4 with Papa over there. We don't know about all these other people down here. But so that's fun. I have on the Motell T-shirt. You know, originally it was a motel sign. And what was the name of the motel, Sue?
Coral Court.
Coral Court. By the hour and by the day.
Moderate rate.
But we don't have very many of those T-shirts left, I think. Well, thank you everybody for coming. You know, you can, if you think of something, else that you want to talk about, you can always contact us. Our information is on the website. And I will be sending something out in February about the state parks and historic sites for the spring and fall of 2026. So get your stuff prepared for that, because I have no control over who they select. They go through your bio and be specific, like Nancy said, because sometimes they are looking for a particular kind of story, or maybe it's a ghost story, maybe you're a historical person, maybe they want somebody that'll bring music. So it's out of my hands once I pass off your information. They make the choices, the people at the state parks. So I want to have you I want to give you the most advantages that you can have, because they really are fun. They are so much fun, and we try to feature the state park in the newsletter so you can see, how much fun it is. So I know a lot of you have done this in the past, and maybe you can tell us about that, and we can put that in the newsletter. Okay. Anything else tonight? Thank you so much for coming. This will be on the website with all our foibles and misspoken words. And our reflective glasses.
Also, I would say, how many of you am I going to get to see at the Chicken Festival?
Oh, yes, that's what's coming up. The Chicken Festival in Topeka.
Yeah.
That's with River and Prairie Story Weavers, and
Yeah.
that is so much fun.
I've been reliably informed that the weather will actually be nice and warm and balmy.
No snow.
No snow. Saturday, I think it's supposed to be in the 20s, but clear.
No crying in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So
no snow or ice.
Pop over if you can.
Snowstorm.
I'm not unmuted.
Who is? Oh, sometimes you have to corral him, don't you?
I didn't know she wasn't unmuted.
I know.
I was doing Tom Hanks. There's no crying in a snowstorm.
All right, Tom. Thank you, everybody, and have a great evening. And I'll see you soon.